I just happened to find two that there's an 08 there and Deltic.
First time you've had a Deltic here?
So it's the first time we've had one actually running on the line.
I'm in the cab of 55008, which is it's obviously not a live engine, but I'm in the cab with Pete Stojanovic, and Pete has been with the Deltic Preservation Society and has a very important role for how long, Pete?
Well,
Go on.
I've been involved with the society since, as a working member, volunteer, since back end of 1982.
Did you work on the railways in 1982 in the
No.
industry?
No.
Was it through your affection for Deltics when they were running and then they were withdrawn?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, when I was Alex's age or even younger.
Really?
But yeah, we used to just go out bashing them between initially Donny York all the time.
What was there a Rover ticket that you could buy? I used to use the East Midlands Rover,
Yeah.
but that didn't go up to York. It only went to
No, that's
Doncaster.
right, yeah.
What did you use? Just
No, it depends. We do get a day return. And
yeah,
if we didn't get gripped, we'd go back again.
yeah.
days.
Those were the days, weren't they? You just went out, and if you got gripped, you bought a ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that very well. So the Deltics were withdrawn, but you must have been involved with. Were you involved with the Preservation Society in the preparation of preserving the Deltics?
No, I was just a member then. Just a member.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you presumably you remember that process. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I mean, as soon as I moved the locos to the Yorkshire Moors Railway, I didn't get involved immediately, but say back end of '82, I was making inquiries, and then I think I remember now. What did we do then? We just got chatting to people, and we went up back end of '82, and then they closed down for the winter. Then in them days,
Yeah.
and then back in March '83, we started volunteering.
Wow. And so you built an army of people up that kept them going from BR days, and they're still running today. A magnificent achievement earlier in the year, which I was able to witness with you, was the return of Toya. Yeah, that must have felt great.
Oh, it was, yeah. Yeah, it was, yeah.
Now, is that the engine that you look after yourself? You manage?
I managed that for 15, yeah. I took it on 3 years ago as a project manager.
Right.
So
How difficult was that then? I mean, you must know the intricacies of that.
it was basically it was still sat on loco stands, had no bogies on it, no engines, no radiators. At the time, it mainly had a lot of obviously it had a rebuild of the bodywork. The cooler groups had been overhauled. There was still no radiators in. It had quite a bit of electrical work done to it. But to look at it, obviously we had no engines either to go in it at the time. So I was looking
Just
after
a body shell by the sound of it.
Yeah, body shell, yeah. And then, like I say, we had a team working on power units. We put power unit 538 was one of the ones we chose for it, but that came out to number 9 in when would it be now? 2022.
Right.
It came out because that had a defective generator.
Okay.
So that came out, and we'd also had an engine previously that came out of 19. So yeah, out of number 9, and that was power unit 417.
So it wasn't easy then. There were hiccups along the way. There were things that didn't happen that were meant to happen. Yeah. People don't see that, do they?
No. I mean, like with power unit 417, that had a B-back fuel cam had failed on that. The gears on that had failed, so that was done under contract to be repaired. But then that got done, though, that was probably 2008 when that got done.
So if you didn't work in the railway industry, where did you pick up your knowledge to know how to get these things working?
My knowledge started, when I started volunteering. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So you weren't a mechanic, or did you?
No.
Did you have a mechanical career?
No, my trade is actually foundries. That's my trade. That's where I started, in apprenticeship in foundries. I learned the mechanical side through volunteering for DPS.
But Pete, if you don't mind me saying, every time I've met you and spoken to you, to me, who's a bit of a layman when it comes to these things, I just love the Deltics. It seems to me that you know them inside out now, very intimately. You know how they work.
40 odd years.
Really?
Yeah.
But self-taught, or did you have somebody when you first joined the society that,
we followed,
that you looked up to and they showed you?
We had fitters at the time from Finsbury Park.
Really?
Ex-Donny Works men as well, York fitters. So we learnt off them really.
So they must have enjoyed the Deltics
yeah.
in BR service, and they wanted to be part of their legacy.
They helped, yeah, in the early days of the Yorkshire Moors, yeah.
So in reality now, you're now of the age that these guys were when they were showing you, and so the Alex, your son relationship to you is similar to what you were when you joined in.
That's
so
right, yeah.
Alex is going to be you in, 30 years?
Oh,
or
yeah.
something. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Hope so. And hopefully, like we're hoping that we're getting some more. We need more youngsters to be recruited, in the society. Because really, look around the workshop now. We've got a couple of youngsters in today, but majority of the volunteers are getting to the stage now where they're retired.
Well, I've had this conversation with Mike, and in reality, I don't think the young people know what they know until they come along and have a look.
Yeah.
And I think if you're part of something, and maybe this is a societal problem that exists these days, if younger people were more part of something, they'd maybe grow up with a great attitude.
Yeah.
Because you'd feel part
Well,
of
a lot of them
success.
used to get put off by the bad press years ago, didn't they? Of railways and the cranks and stuff like that. They're weird and etc. Like, but
probably
nowadays,
Francis Bourgeois has probably
I
helped
think
with that a little bit. Hasn't he?
Without a doubt, yeah.
Don't you think? I think he's made it look, I wouldn't say cool, but he's made it look acceptable and something that boys and girls can enjoy.
Yeah. Well, at one time, as a hobby for the old railway preservation side of it, say 10 years ago, you wouldn't see any youngsters or very few youngsters going out to the guards and stuff. Now, how many youngsters do you see now?
Yeah.
And that's all probably a part of all this, the process of Francis, etc.
Surely, now we're in 2025. We're actually mid sort of gala season now. We've had the North Yorkshire Moors, haven't we? Yeah. We've also had where were we last week? Keighley.
Yeah.
So we're mid-season. There's things coming up. How's it? With 3 Deltics, you do need quite a few hands to the pump.
Oh, yeah,
at the
yeah,
moment.
yeah.
I'm not always sure people understand that or appreciate it, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work that goes in to make all that happen. You
Oh,
get
yeah.
some petty comments sometimes.
Oh, you do, yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah,
You can't
do,
do anything about that. They're people with not a lot to do in their lives, I think. But sadly, but
just ignore it.
the work that you guys put into this is amazing. So how do you feel this year is going now we're where we are?
Number 19 first. Initial faults, January the 2nd, we had the battery issue. We had problems with the batteries were tired on the loco, so we found out that the number 1 auxiliaries weren't working, and that were flattening the batteries. So we had failed at Cornkeep, I don't know if you can remember.
Yeah.
And luckily we had a charger on us, so we got the batteries charged up, and we ran on number 2 engine after that, and ran the rest of the day fine. But that found out that the batteries were poor on 19, so we had to buy a new set of batteries for 19.
How much?
£7,000.
The amount of money you see these things cost, shocking, isn't it?
£7,000 for batteries. We've had a few electrical issues on it, which I think they're being sorted out for now. So at the moment 19 is running okay at the moment, touching wood. Back to 9. Well, basically 9 wasn't going to do it this year. It was going to be 19 do everything, but 19 were going to go to the West Somerset, but they pulled the plug on it for, I can't remember what reason it was. Well, Mike said to us, well, could we use 9? And I said, well, it was a bit. They knew we had problems with 9. Obviously, we lost an engine.
Is 9 out and about a little bit premature for where you want it to be?
Well, no, in a way, it's been good we've had it out because we've been able to identify faults on it.
Brilliant.
Which has helped us find out where we are today. I'll go to, probably most people away won't producing full power. And so it worked out that taking it to these 2 railways, to the Yorkshire Moors and Keighley, have actually helped us hopefully identify what the problem is. So what we've done today is we put a gauge on what you call the regulator air from the controllers, and that should be at 50 psi.
Right.
So we put a gauge on the governor on Pioneer 408 with the serviceable one, and we've now worked out it's not the reg air because that's running at 50 psi as it should.
So you've ruled out one.
So we ruled out a failure on that. So we know it's not that.
Is it a process of elimination
Yeah,
all the time?
it is. Yeah, it is. And we've also looked at we've also changed the fuel filters on it and the inline fuel filter as well. Check that, make sure that's not all clogged up, which we've done.
Yeah.
That they're all fine. But we've put like 0 hours filters in now, so we've got a date line to start again.
Yeah.
So it's either the engine governor, which we've got an overhauled one we can put on it, which we're going to do in the next few
that'll
days.
either fix it or rule that out.
If it's rules that the governor's not fixed, it's the engine. So
Right.
so if
And
it's
what
the
does that mean in worst case scenario and in best case scenario?
worst case scenario, it's stopped.
Right. And
It's
replace
out
it.
of hours because that engine is over 9,500 engine hours now.
How do you know these stats? How do you record the stats?
There's actually on a bank of the A power unit, there's a digital counter,
Okay.
and it gives you a number on there. It's not how many hours it's done, but it gives you a number. And what you do with that figure is you times it by 1.75, and then that gives you engine hours.
You see, everybody, we're really learning a lot of stuff today, aren't we? Us laymen are starting to understand these things.
So if you go over onto that power unit in 9 now,
Yeah.
get that figure, it'll come out at
So
just
let's
over.
say it was the engine.
Yeah.
I've been talking to a couple of your other volunteers who are working hard today on the power unit just outside this cab. What power unit is that? Was that 408?
No, that's 430.
430?
Yeah.
Is that going in?
That's going in 9 anyway, that.
But so when that's ready, that could replace that engine that you might want to take
Well, we're
out.
going to take out the one that failed last year. It's 451.
Okay.
That's going to replace it anyway, but we're hoping, like I say, we're hoping that it's going to be a governor fault. If not, then we've got the other engine behind us now, power unit 423. That is midway through return to service at the moment.
Can I ask you, which I think is possibly a slightly sensitive question, okay? But I think everybody wants the answer to this, yeah? When we post the films that we make, we get some really positive comments and we get sometimes some negative comments, okay? And it usually points at one engine and maybe the oil or the smoke, the clag, if you like. Because back in BR days, we remember them hammering down the main line and they ran clean in a sense.
Yeah.
But presumably they ran on BR with a certain amount of engine hours, yeah?
Yeah.
They never exceeded and then they... It's I find it frustrating when I read the comments and I find that there's a lack of understanding. And
Yeah.
one of the comments was that it's going to cost, if you actually took an engine, engineered it back to 0 engine hours, which presumably would make the engine perfect, yeah? We're talking about, what sort of number?
£500,000.
£500,000.
Yeah.
Well, no preservation society of any diesel group on this earth can really afford that level of expenditure unless...
That's if you wanted new pistons.
Yeah.
Yeah, new gudgeon pins.
So the understanding that I would like to, if we could help get out there to people understand this is of course they're running around as they are. We're doing a fantastic job to get them on the heritage lines and on the main line eventually. Yeah. But they're not 0 hour engines, so they're not perfect. So we're doing an amazing job. But that's how I see it.
Yeah.
Pete. Yeah.
The engines we've used in the locos from 1982 to now,
Right.
all the engines what have been in service continuously from that date.
So do you know what hours they had done when they come out of BR service then?
I don't know off the top of my head now. No.
No.
Well, no, but they were fairly low.
Right.
Apart from 408 in 9 now, which is that were probably around about 6,500 engine hours then.
So when we see a comment that says we're only running on one engine because it's the preserved line, we don't need to because we're conserving the engine hours, we're protecting the engine hours.
And
Is there some truth in that?
Well, there is, but also as well, if you're, as heritage now can only do 25 miles an hour, as most people know.
Yeah.
You're not going to. You only start your back engine is only going to run for seconds, and next time it's going to be idling.
They don't run at the same time. They don't really power at the same time. Is that what?
No,
on the preserve
no, because controller here, underneath here, there's a cam.
Yeah.
And if you bring the controller around to notch 5, that'll allow your first engine to run.
Right.
And that first engine on notch 5 is running in full power.
Yeah.
And then from 6, 7, 8, that's when you'll bring your second engine in.
If you've switched it on, effectively.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't need it, do you?
No, you don't. No. You see, it's nice. Sometimes nice
I
to
think
run.
there's a misapprehension and a misunderstanding on some people's parts about that.
Yeah.
And I understand you can preserve engine hours, but equally, you just don't need it.
You don't need it, no.
And it wouldn't.
I mean, we do occasionally run it on preserved rail because sometimes it's nice for people to see, which I like to see them on 2 engines every so often. Also, it tests the different electronics in the cubicle, the relays and stuff like that, because some only work on 2 engines, so it helps, let them work occasionally. So that's another reason why we do it, but it's not often.
So if we go back to number, we've just gone off a little bit on a tangent there.
Yeah.
That's my fault. But when we talk about number 9, you were saying, well, it's a process of elimination. You'll work that out. You'll do what's necessary. What's next for 9 in this year? This year,
obviously going to a Rail 200 event. It'll come back here, and it's also dependent on what we find wrong with this engine. If we know it's the engine governor and it'll run okay, it's booked to go to the Dean Forest Railway in September.
Okay. Not 19?
No, 9.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Then they'll come back here. Then we'll have this engine ready then to go in. And in September, October, we'll have the second power unit. We'll have a power unit swap.
Right.
And 430 is not running preservation yet.
Right. So that will be the first time that engine has done anything.
This is 1981.
What is that now? 40 years? I suppose it's 44 years.
44 years. 40, yeah.
How can it sit there for 44 years and not completely rust over and become useless?
Well, we've stripped it down.
Right.
To a point where as generator were useless because they hadn't done it for a long time. The installation reads on the generator was no good, so that's been away for overhaul. 14 grand later for a main generator, 4,000 for an auxiliary generator. So 22 grand, 18 grand, sorry, for generators. This phasing case has gone away for overhaul.
How much?
Phasing case, which 7 or 8 grand?
25 grand just on those.
Just
bits.
on that bit.
Has it needed some new batteries as well?
Well, no, we don't have batteries yet. What we've done is it's got new fuel pumps, new injectors. So you're looking 5 or 6 grand there.
Who pays for all of this? The society.
Society members.
Out of the money it raises.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's all for that. So then all the hoses have been replaced inside the triangle as well.
Yeah.
The O-rings have been replaced on the injector pockets. So I reckon we've probably spent 12, 18, 24, 31, and all the other bits. I will probably save in about £34,000
this year.
No, over the last few years. To bring to bring into service. So it's not just pick it up and start. From it's been stood there for all that time. It's like it's been stood, but all this work's been done. So it's probably cost £34,000 to reactivate it.
So whenever I speak to one of you encyclopedias of knowledge in the DPS, one of the things that I always glean from that is there's 2 things that you need. You need people to do the work, which means you need the volunteers, and we need the younger volunteers coming through, don't we? And also the donations from membership through to sales stand activity. And there was one I was talking to Mike about, is legacies. I mean, if you've got nobody to leave your money to, what better place to leave your money than to the DPS?
Absolutely,
There's a lot of single men that I meet on the railway. You must see them. Where are they haven't got children. Where are they leaving what they've... Where are they putting it?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, it would be
It'd be nice
good
to
if
come
they
this
left.
way.
Yeah,
It'd be nice.
wouldn't it be lovely if they just left a little bit of it?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
behind for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
But then you need the younger volunteers, so you can do to Alex to other people.
Yeah,
like
right,
was done to you. Yeah, that's what I think's important.
yeah.
Now tell me about each loco has its own manager, doesn't it? So you're the manager of
15.
Who's the manager of 9?
Mick Palfreyman.
Okay. And who's the manager of 19?
William Watson.
Okay, so you look after 15. 15 has been a massive project.
Yeah.
Where are we with that now?
Right, it's both engines work now. We had issues with number
I've been
1
on it.
engine. That's all been resolved. And as you've seen, it'll pulling air through the fuel system, and also the several fuel pumps had failed on it. So we ended up putting 18 overload fuel pumps on it.
That's unbelievable.
Sorted the air issue out with it, with the air getting dragged into the fuel system. So that's taken us about how long? Several months to sort that out. Both engines have had new generators. It's got 9 old bogies from the main line, so we've had to do some rectification work on one of the bogies because one of the axle liners had failed. So we've had to employ sheaf engineering to fully strip down that bogie and rebuild it and repair. I can't remember how much that cost now, but that were a good few £1,000. So it's had a bogie rebuild on one bogie, but the other bogie, obviously, we had to do minor work on it. But basically, 15 sat on mainline bogies.
Is there a hint in there?
Possibly.
Is that the ambition?
My ambition.
Yeah, I mean, if you if there was nobody in your way, your ambition, let's get that on the main line.
Oh yeah.
I think people would love that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Give us some money.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a bit particular.
Yeah.
I like my Deltics. I like my Finsbury Park white cabs.
Yeah.
And I remember that was the one that went to Rainhill. Do you remember? And I used to love the way that used to look. That would be amazing.
I mean, my own personal view as the local manager to it, I want to see it back on the main line. That's my goal.
Can they all be back on the main line at the same time?
You can have the mainline equipment fitted, yeah.
Have you got enough equipment to have them all mainline registered?
Virtually. Now, yeah.
Wow.
We've got OTMR, we've got GSMR.
Would that be an ambition of the group one day? I know we've got the ambition to run them on the same railway, and that was mentioned in one of my other conversations. Yeah. Is that stretching it too far?
I won't say it's possible. It is possible, but I would say that's several years away.
That costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
So we need the donation. We need the legacy.
I mean, like we've done the mainline funding for 19. I think we've spent approximately 40 grand of that already on 19. That's including bogie work, brake cylinder overhaul, that kind of stuff. So even though people aren't seeing it physically happen yet, money's been spent on it to bring 19 up to standard with bogie work. I think what we're looking at doing, I'll go on to 19 actually, is it's going to run possibly the rest of this season, early into next year. Then we're going to pull it for mainline equipment.
Bring it back up here?
Yeah, yeah.
I wondered that, because when you base it down there, it can stretch its legs.
Oh yeah.
Right,
yeah.
which is, it's a lovely railway for that, isn't it? The Great Central Railway.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But if you need to do any work on it, you've presumably got to bring it back up here. If you, or
we
you
can
do basics.
we can do basic stuff there, but it's going to I want to have a lot of electrical work doing to it. You know, fitting. It's already got TPDS fitted to it, but that just wants recertifying. We're going to have to fit the OTMR and the GSMR. Now we've put 3 quotes out, 3 requests, as we have to do as a charity. One never replied. One replied, and then they said they were going to do it, then they pulled out of it. And then we had another company in. They came and gave us a quote.
I think that's interesting what you just said. because it's a charity, you have to get 3 quotes
Yeah,
for things.
yeah.
And that's presumably so that the funds that people donate and you raise are spent wisely.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And
yeah.
efficiently.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, we had another quote with the company, and they came back at 150 grand to fit the mainline equipment. And no. But we have got a lot of, we've got several good electricians with us, and they've said, well, we could do it.
Are these the guys that I've met?
Yeah.
What do we call them?
The electricians.
Thank you. I can't get my teeth around that one. The Delectricians. They've got the green outfits on, haven't they?
That's it, yeah.
Boiler suit
Yeah,
men.
and they are...
What's their names again? Richard, is it? And
There's Richard, there's Pete, there's Steve,
Yeah.
there's Bill, there's Gary.
they're remarkable, aren't they?
Yeah.
Have they helped you a lot since you've been...
Oh yeah, with electronics on it, yeah, electrically wise they have, yeah.
Is there the story that you can share with me about a wire that you was found to be either wrongly fitted or missing in number 9 since being days? Am I...
Yeah, there was one, yeah, I can't remember.
One of the
electricians
was telling me
Yeah,
that and they think it goes back to BR days.
Yeah. Because you see, the power supply had been taken from somewhere else, which made that live all the time and shouldn't be.
Yeah.
So they had to put it back to as it was. So that would probably been a depot job.
I've got a question for you now, but let's just understand the man that is behind a lot of the good stuff that goes on here. At the dinner table, do you talk Deltics with the wife and the boy? Sometimes.
No,
or
no.
do you
I mean,
do you move away from it in the at the
we
dinner?
we do so not often. No. We do it now and then, but not. It's not.
Because
It's not all topic.
I found it really, really interesting that I met your wife with you at the GCR.
Yeah.
On that Deltic running day with 19. You were just enjoying the Deltic that day, weren't you? Alex was there, your wife was there, and your wife used to be working in here at Barrow Hill as well. So it's a family of volunteers.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. She doesn't do it now.
She doesn't?
No.
She don't get her... Did she used to put her hands on the spanners then?
Oh yeah.
Wow,
she's done
quite remarkable.
Done quite a bit really, yeah.
Quite remarkable.
Yeah. Then Alex came along and replaced her.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I said to Nigel when we were chatting in this cab was, what do you want to happen in the future, sort of thing? Is there one thing? Is there anything in particular that you would love to achieve with the DPS, with the engines?
I think
if there's like that, the ultimate goal, they may never happen, but what would it be?
I think for me, power unit rebuild, that's where the society's got to go now for power unit repairs overall. That's why
that's the bit that's so expensive.
Yeah.
So it would need to raise considerable sums, or somehow do it in house. Is that what you?
I won't say we ain't got the skill. We possibly could do. It's
the tools, isn't it?
We got quite a lot of the tooling. We've loaned some of that out to a company, but there's possibilities that we could go via them. But I say it's just the cost and it's the time. You need people who can do it day in, day out. You know, it's like this power unit we've been on with now. We've been on it for a few years, but if we'd have been working 5 days a week, we'd probably turn it around in 3 months. You know what I mean? It's just a time factor.
I think that's the amazing thing. I enjoy them, but I am a bit of a layman. Until I started getting involved with you guys, I didn't really understand. I put my hands up in the air and say I didn't really understand the amount of everything that goes into this to keep it all running. You're a lot of the Pete, if you don't mind me saying, you're behind the getting the engines on the tracks, if you like. But there's lots of other parts to this operation that need to function as well to allow you to do your work.
Oh yeah. Most important part, sales, really, and donations.
Would you? I suppose one of the things is if you can get them back on the main line, does that help with your finances? Does that bring you more revenue, or is it counterproductive because it costs you so much to get them back on the main line?
I think it's 50-50 really. We do make money on the main line, without a doubt. But recently on Heritage, we were doing very well.
Great.
You know, especially
people. Yeah. Well, I enjoyed Keighley, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed. I haven't
Yeah.
seen anybody that didn't like seeing
Yeah.
a Deltic at Keighley or
I mean,
a
the
Deltic
sales
at
team,
North Yorkshire. Yeah.
the sales team at Keighley did phenomenally well.
Did they?
Very well. Yeah, of a good 5-figure sum.
I think they were selling Martin Etherton's nameplates, weren't
Yeah,
they?
that's right. Yeah, he donated them.
Did they go well? I suppose they
I think
did.
so. Yeah, yeah.
They're really nice.
Yeah,
They are.
yeah, yeah. But I think they raised over 13 grand sales at Keighley, which is excellent. Excellent.
That's wow. That is a real wow. So
Yeah.
if you
And loco wire as well. So, you know, loco wire, couple of grand for the 4 days.
who can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because I don't understand the mechanics of this. Who pays for the bringing the end? You know, they get dragged from,
Yeah.
or they get on
Yeah.
the low loader.
Yeah.
Who pays for that? Does the DPS pay for
No,
that?
railway.
The preserved railway.
They'll pay for the moves, yeah.
So they must look at your engine and think, right, if we're going to pay for that to come over here, it's going to help draw the crowds in, sell loads of tickets, so it must be worth it for them
Oh, yeah.
to pay you to bring it across.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So they pay for the transportation and they pay for the hire.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes when we've had 9 has done the mainline drags to a gala, we've been paid for that move as well. So we've been paid to move the loco, other heritage locos to a railway,
Yeah.
and then have the money or the appearance fees for running at the gala as well, and then going back as well, returning the locos.
Well, thank you today. I can't believe it. I've just looked at the timer on my video camera and we've been at it 32 minutes.
Wow.
I've never spent 32 minutes chatting to somebody about trains before, apart from when I'm on a train.
Yeah.
That's been really, really lovely.
Okay.
And you've given us a massive insight.
Yeah.
And I say to everybody out there, including myself, sometimes when I see something out there and I think, oh, you know, that's not as good as I'd like it, or that's not how I remember it. Now I know what goes into these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
We shouldn't jump to conclusions, and we should only praise you guys for what you actually do. And I thank you
That's all
because
right.
you're helping me to relive
Yeah.
my 14, 15, 16, 13 years of age life.
I forgot what I didn't include in the price of the power unit.
Go on.
Governor overall, 5 grand. So governor to be overhauled.
You've been thinking about that ever since, haven't you?
Yeah,
You think, I've missed something.
Yeah. So you're looking to reactivate for 430. It will cost the society 40 grand.
Yeah. Do you know what I'd really love you guys to do? In fact, Nigel Julian talked across. Nigel talked across me last time. I was just about to say to him, "This is what I'd love to see one day," and then he said, "No, this is what I'd like to see," and I never got a chance to say it. So I'm going to say it on your conversation. What I've always wanted to see is I've seen that bright blue Deltic that's mounted in the museum.
Yes, it's shielding.
And I'm looking at it and going, why doesn't somebody get hold of that situation? It would be humongously massive if that was back on the main line. I can see you looking at me in a certain way there.
Yeah.
Is that
That's the Science Museum.
Hey?
That's the Science Museum.
I know, but
don't
you
want
guys could sort that.
Well, yeah.
Whether
We
you'd
could.
want to or not, that's something else. But the public, wow.
Yeah. I'd like to. Yeah, it'd be nice to see it happen. But I don't think it'll ever happen. I don't think. No. Like, I don't think you'll see Coyley run again.
That's so sad. Tell me about I'm going to ask you this. We've already drawn to a close and we've come back after those 32 minutes.
Yeah.
It started with Coyley for you, didn't it?
Well, no, I were DPS to start with. I mean, I think the story with Coyley is obviously he went to D9000 on loan. That all went wrong, sadly. Then he was dumped at Doncaster Wabtec for a few years.
Yeah.
And I remember when I worked at EWS, and we used to go into Denison House for our rules and stuff and safety briefs, etc. You could always see it part there in the red primer, right? And I said to, who were it now? I think it was Simon at the time, who was our engineer. I said, we need to get that to Barrow Hill. And we arranged it through work, because I work for Freightliner now, I arranged it through work to get one of our locos to pick it up and to bring it here, and that's what happened in, I think, 2004. And then the idea was then just to cosmetically restore it, so we painted it into blue and just left it like that. It was bits missing out of it, so we left it at that, and off we went back to York eventually. And then it was something something I really wanted to do, was to get it working again. And I think in 2007 I approached Steve Plone, because he was a volunteer at the museum at the time.
Is he in here now?
Yeah, it was Steve, yeah.
I've been chatting with him.
Yeah, he's here now, yeah. And I said, what's the chance of getting Coily operational? And he went to he went to see Alan Ashby at the museum at the time. And we arranged to have a meeting with her, and she said, yeah.
So it's owned by the museum at this stage?
Or Science Museum Group.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, we'd like to see it. She said, you can have it. He says, you take it away. I said, no. I said, what I want to do is I want to do it here at York.
Is that similar to the D6700 arrangement with GCR? Because they own that, don't they? And
yeah, museum owned that, possibly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
But we did it as railway museum volunteers, not as a separate group. That's how we restored it. Because that's what I said to her. I wanted to restore it, but via through the NRM.
Yeah.
So the process started. We had a meeting and we had agreements and this, that, and the other. And it just came a process of, for a year or so, finding parts, because lots of parts were missing off it. Radiators were missing. The engine governor were missing. Various. I think there were a pallet came back from. Would it be Loughborough at the time, which we dumped in the concrete
Your
works.
memory is amazing.
Yeah. They bumped. I think all the bits were dumped in the. They must
have been painful experiences finding all these things missing.
Oh yeah. Anyway, we basically, cut long story short, we eventually got everything together. My idea initially was to run it on one engine, just to be had enough bits to run it on one engine. Anyway, we managed to resource parts. We did a deal with DPS where we got an engine governor off them because there was an engine governor missing. So there were a trade-off there for bits. So we managed to get an engine governor for it, and we sent both engine governors away for overhaul. And then it was a process of, we got all the radiators together, and they went away for overhaul to replace in Leeds. And luckily there was an ITV cameraman paid for them to be repaired. Yeah.
Ah, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The Coronation Street. And so we raised 25 grand. That was just to get it operational.
Wow.
So over between 2008 to 2011, we got it going.
Wow.
And then we took it to the Yorkshire Moors Railway.
Did you take it to the Nen Valley Railway?
It went there. It went quite a few places.
I think I remember catching it on the not the Nen Valley Railway.
Went to the Yorkshire Moors to start with.
Yeah.
When was that? In September.
It went to Swanage as well, didn't it?
It's been to Swanage.
Yeah.
It went under its own power to Swanage.
Wow.
But initially it was Yorkshire Moors. I think it did Severn Valley year after. But we basically did the first year heritage. Came back to the museum. The museum then decided they wanted it mainline.
Yeah.
The director at the time wanted it mainline to work with Flying Scotsman. We got several items for it through Class 86 scrapped. We got various TPWS, that kind of stuff, and the museum paid for the OTMR and GSMR. And eventually then we got it recertified for the mainline.
So I mean, that's an incredible journey again that you've been on, and you were the manager of that project.
Yeah, project managed that. Yeah.
And this is where Alex started to get involved, is it, and show an interest?
It showed an interest. It couldn't really be involved. It was too young. To be involved.
Yeah.
As a volunteer then, but they were interested because they saw Dad there all the time. Well, obviously he went to the railways.
Yeah.
That's how he got interested. So then he did Heritage Railways. Then we did that tour. in April 2014, I think,
Yeah.
to Aberdeen, which was a cracking tour. And then
So were you on there as a travelling fitter?
I did first so much of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't do it all. I only did York Newcastle
Yeah.
because I wasn't bothered.
Yeah.
I'd rather be on train.
With the people enjoying
Yeah,
it?
and then all the lads who worked on it, they took in turns.
That sounds great.
And we did all that and everything. Not really much to report really on that. We had an inkling there was something wrong with number 2 engine.
Is it sad now to see it just as an exhibit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Will
Yeah.
it ever come out
Will it ever come out?
and
No.
run? No.
Don't know.
You just don't know.
No.
You wouldn't say no, but
I would never say never. Well, the current regime at the museum don't want it running.
no. But if there was an inkling, I reckon you'd be the man straight in there to.
I would be more. If it was able to run again, I'd rather the DPS took it on
Yeah.
than me.
Yeah.
You know, but it's foot's gone dead. It's what's it now? It's got issues with number 2 engine. I know exactly what it is. It's B6 Southern liner. It's got a fracture.
Okay.
And how we tested that is we disconnected we took the fuel injector out of it because we had an inkling with that one because what it were doing is it were blowing coolant back into the exhaust gases were going into the coolant
Yeah.
and blowing it back out. Exhaust gases go into the header tank and force it out, and what that does is then it empties the header tank out and there's a Mulberry valve in there, drops down, it shoots the engine down. And so we knew it had an issue, and that was in back end of 2014. We identified the fault by taking the injector out, then we ran the engine and you're running fine. Apart from there's a bang bang bang, with piston going up and down, we're not firing. But so we found the fault, so we know what it is.
So fixable?
It's fixable, of course it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Won't cost a lot. Won't cost a lot at all. So
You'll wind a few people up that watch this knowing that it wouldn't cost that much to fix it and get it back out there again.
no,
That'll upset a few people, that will.
possibly.
Not what you've said, but the
No.
situation.
Oh yeah. It's fixable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So like I say, he went to Shildon in 2015 for repainting. Had a little event there. They came out in green. That's the museum staff did all that. All the volunteers at Shildon did all that, I should say. They did a really good job of it. And then it ran for 2016. Then in 2017 October it came back after we went to the Mid-Ants Railway. That was his last trip out.
Yeah.
And then
Think
after that they pulled the plug on it.
Yeah. Listen, it has been great. I said when we were at 32 minutes, thank you very much. We're now at 44 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
we're still going strong.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just want to say, I can't wait. One day you'll retire. With all that knowledge, I can't wait to read the book, Pete. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
No problem.